Hi guys, I'm the guy referred to as a guy from South Africa. I've been trying for roughly about 2 weeks to help you guys out. Been pumping your forums and various other web page, trying to give you solutions, short-term solutions. What I've seen a common factor that's taking place there is everyone has realized like Okeechobee is the problem, the big problem. What I've seen as well, there's been plenty government officials, they've told you time and time and time again that the Indians have signed an agreement. The water can't go down to the south. So this is a common fact and you have got to realize this. If Lake Okeechobee is the problem, you've all decided that is the problem, all the specialists, all the scientists, they're all referring to Lake Okeechobee is covering your waterways with blue-green algae. If you had your lawn and you put your hose pipe out there for the day, it would flood if you never turned that hose pipe off. So that's what Lake Okeechobee is doing to you. It's flooding your waterways. Now let me tell you something with regards to like lakes and dams, how they work. Generally in summertime, all on your side vegetation grows. Your duckweeds, your water hyacinth, there's a whole vast amount of vegetation that takes place. Lake Okeechobee is a dike. It's far too big. The circumference that is provided with vegetation is insufficient to filter the water. What takes place in any dam, in anywhere in the world, is you get zooplankton. Zooplankton is small crab-like creatures, very small and prawn-like. They eat your phytoplankton. That's your like little grass. They play a very vital role. If these little guys die, like they have in Lake Okeechobee, and they are all dead, your phytoplankton is dead, your zooplankton is dead. If you go onto the internet and you have a look at any fish tank shop, any video recording with regards to blue-green algae, you'll see that it creates the bacteria attacks the leaves, any foliage. Your estuaries at the moment, the blades of grass and your mud flats, your eel grass, everything down below is dead, dead. The zooplankton is also dead. The phytoplankton is dead. Now let's go back to the problem source of Lake Okeechobee. That's where you have to fix it. What normally takes place in summertime, your vegetation grows in the banks and creates a lot of life for the insects, and the water levels are generally low. Come winter time, generally, the dam is going to flood. All that side vegetation is going to be flooded, and it won't get enough light, and it will break up, and it will form small particles. These particles normally will be trapped in the bottom thermocline. The top water thermocline, generally in summer, will keep the bottom thermocline down. That's where all your bacteria takes place. That's what nature has provided, and that's where nature has thrived. Now we're coming back to the winter. During winter, everything gets flooded. All the debris goes down to the bottom, and it starts to break up fine pieces. But now another common factor occurs. Get an overturn. What happens is in the deeper end of the dam, that cool water is circulating on the bottom. It's building up there. What happens? Your top water that normally circulates parallel to this in the opposite direction is going to weaken. As it weakens in the far side, all this debris is going to come up, and we call that an overturn. When that takes place, all that particles that are in the bottom of the thermocline, all that dead foliage that was in summertime was plenty, gets distributed through the vertical water column. All those phytoplankton, your phytoplankton and your zooplankton are going to have a field day, plenty of nutrients. But it's designed that way because now they get to eat and break up all those foliage that was your filter system on the sides of the dam. Now, in Lake Okeechobee, okay, I've been jamming you guys over and over again. There's already um, equipment overseas in many places. They've got barges that they can filter out. They actually pick up the top scum lines of too high concentration of blue-green algae on the surface, and they filter this out. There is also technology overseas, aerating wheels, paddle wheels, and they aerate the water, and that also killed oxygenation. It doesn't provide a good environment for bacteria, and it's also a buffer. Okay, if Lake Okeechobee is the problem, you got all your outlets going a little bit to the south, and most of us going east and west. When it's going east and west, there is water hyacinth. You could take this water hyacinth, you could build, you could even use shade cloth, simple shade cloth, a foot off the water surface on barges, and you could create a netting system on the backs in on the canal side, where you could put down other forms of floating vegetation, and you could cage that in with the same principle. None of that stuff caged in can get out of Lake Okeechobee. What will now take place when the wind blows on a normal is that now you're going to start this whole idea is to start the natural filtration system using water dynamics and the thermocline to filter the blue-green algae that normally sits in the water column. This blue-green algae is always present. On warm summer days, the water gets flat. This blue-green algae decides to come to the surface, and then the wind will blow, and the currents, and the top currents, will take it to the edges of the dam. If you've got no water hyacinth or nothing there to stop it, what takes place? It forms a big scum lines. The water hyacinth and your side vegetation, when it is correct, also creates a buffer zone. This buffer zone, when warm water hits and filters underneath the shaded area, it starts to form a thin piece of water. Directly below the top layer of hot water moving towards the lilies is a countercurrent of hot water going in the opposite direction. Down below that sits a thermocline. That thermocline is running in the opposite direction towards the lilies. When that thermocline hits that shaded area, that bottom thermocline can come up slightly. This acts as a buffer zone, and you're creating restoring the natural filtration system in the lake. Lake Okeechobee needs to be sorted out. The only way you can sort out Lake Okeechobee is President Trump has given Governor Scott 500 million, another 100 million to your moat scientists. I posted all over your the South Florida clean water movement a way to get all your people and the people that are concerned. You won't have to, wouldn't say protest, but you're gonna have to do your marches with firm goals. The firm goal, and as everyone is pointing, is Lake Okeechobee. I've also placed there, you could get using WhatsApp. You could just send to 20 friends, they send it 20 friends. Do that 5 times, that's 5 cycles. You've started a chain reaction. That chain reaction will reach 64 million people. Now that's a big voice in just 5 cycles. Next time you have a march or rally, a get together, when you get the opportunity to speak on the loud hailer. The loud hailer, yes, the loud hailer can help you. Tell the people standing there, we got to stand together and create a big noise. We've got to get Governor Scott to use that 500 million, well, of it, to start to clean up Lake Okeechobee. There is already equipment all over the world, well, I say all over the world, China and other places, that is working to manage blue-green algae. You just got to create that awareness, and once it starts, you'll put a lot of pressure on Governor Scott. If Governor Scott is not biting, you've also got these up and coming candidates, mayor, these new mayors also running for office. Use them. They've also got platforms. Speak to them. Convince them. It's a good idea. This is also would be a good idea for Florida. Tourism. Tourism anywhere in the world. Nothing touches it. Even here in South Africa, we've got diamonds. Tourism doesn't touch the amount of money that tourism can bring in. Okay, I wouldn't say diamonds. Our diamonds, there's a bit of a problem. That money is, corruption. But that's neither here nor there for you guys. But I will say that gold mines and all the other mines and platinum mines, their GDP raise there is nothing. It's a joke when compared to tourism. Coming back to you guys, please guys, create that opportunity. When you get that loud hail speaker, doesn't even only a few of your people. Go create a noise somewhere. Make a bit of noise. Jump on your phones. Just start the chain reaction. And if he doesn't want to go through to Trump, hammer him that side. It's caused a lot of noise there. But you got to start to sort Lake Okeechobee out. Once you sort out Lake Okeechobee, then you can a lot of other things can come right. But guys, also I've seen a lot of guys going around and touching like sharks and picking things up. If you notice on there, there's a lot of flesh-eating bacteria. I saw one guy, he gaffed one shark. He wasn't very proficient, but he did a good job, and it was good awareness. But that same gaff, taken out of the water, places bacteria on the walkway. Anyone can walk into that. A dog, well, I wouldn't say a dog, no animal would worry you want to go there. It's too acidic, sulfur, stinky. But anyone else could put it on the shoes, walk it in, go take it anywhere. There are people there at the moment, and I think 2015, I think 39 people picked up flesh-eating bacteria. You've got 5 species there. Only 9 of the guys survived that. I saw one guy who lost his leg. I don't know about the other guys, but that's like 30 people. That's 75% of people that contracted the flesh-eating bacteria died. Guys, I really think you've got to be careful how you handle this. You guys are people. There's most people are not telling you the correct thing. They should be warning you about this and making it's dangerous. You've got tourists coming down there. I mean, I don't know what Scott is thinking. Well, I know what is this money making that, but it's crazy. What's going to take place there? All your backwaters are full of the green algae. And that scum line, each day the sun bakes, it grows bigger and bigger and bigger. Eventually it can't grow bigger anymore because it can't compete anymore at the bottom. And then it starts to die. When it dies, it forms as blue patches. Those blue patches is BMAA, highly toxic, and it's going to evaporate. So your conditions are going to get worse, 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 worse. You guys have got to wake up and do something. They, even Governor Scott, I mean, if I've pumped you guys full of with biofuels and that. They could run the hyson there as well. It's contained in Okeechobee. These biofuels you can use it. Apparently, even cattle can eat it. But I wouldn't want to feed it into cattle because at the moment that's too much toxins. I wouldn't go for trying to make biofuels out of blue-green algae because it's a health hazard to people. And I don't know what the science is on it, that normal fuel burnt in a car, not all of it gets burnt. So it comes out the exhaust system and goes into the air. So that's toxins inside that. Even if you eat shellfish, um, with a red tide or well, obviously the red tide, you're not going to eat shellfish inside. But even once it's boiled, you still get sick. Boiling the heat doesn't kill it. Okay, I'm going to end this and I'll give you guys more tips and all bits of information. I've got a lot of information. I've created, what's that thing called again? Reclaim Florida Clean Waters. Well, you'll see it on all the posts I've done there. I've jammed a lot of solutions there. You guys can also make up your own solutions, help you to think of new ideas. But seriously, you've got the money, you've got the money. Now make sure that money goes to your problem, Lake Okeechobee. Lake Okeechobee is causing a chain reaction, and to the west it's good because the current to take it out when they push water that side. But I mean not to the west, to the east. But to the Gulf going to the west, it's like a dead. I won't say a dead zone. There's a big couple of geysers around there on the outside. There's a natural circulation. But if you add nutrients and too much water coming from your estuaries, or obviously from Lake Okeechobee, but all the rest of your other mines and everything else, that will bloom too quick that side, and it adds to it. So the best would be obviously to the east. Okay, I'm going to end this now, and I'll give you some more tips. But seriously, guys, you've got to jump on the health speaker, go talk, create awareness, and get that money to start to rehabilitate Lake Okeechobee. That's the problem. That's a source that's causing everything. And it doesn't matter what the scientists say. Oh no, Lake Okeechobee's got nothing to do with the red tides. It has aggravated the red tides. Yes, red tides. Oh well, okay. I'm gonna end this now. But okay, cool.